When you see that cluster of cells dividing under a microscope, the immediate feeling is a profound relief. You have created an embryo. It is completely normal to think that with your embryos safely frozen and banked, the most difficult phase of building your family is behind you. That embryo holds the genetic blueprint of your future family, but freezing it is the starting line of a complex journey to bring your baby home. This timeline charts the terrain ahead. From embryo banking to delivery, the process takes 15 to 24 months, divided into distinct phases. Navigating this requires precise coordination across 4 pillars: finding a surrogate, clearing legal hurdles, managing escrow, and clinical transfers. Managing all of these moving parts requires a central architect. That is where the Donor Surrogacy Institute, or EDSI, steps in. They bring over 25 years of experience to carefully coordinate every step of this massive timeline. Their specific roadmap is built to adapt. Whether you are building a domestic, international, or LGBTQIA+ family, the structure flexes to meet your specific legal and medical requirements. Trying to align independent doctors, lawyers, and financial institutions on your own can quickly overwhelm you. Working with an experienced agency turns that potential chaos into a predictable, step-by-step path. The longest and least predictable phase of this entire timeline is finding the right surrogate. It is also the most deeply personal part of the journey. A successful connection requires strict medical clearance and lifestyle compatibility. You and the surrogate need to share the exact same expectations around communication, medical decisions, and the pregnancy itself. This bar chart comparison shows the advantage of preparation. The industry average to find a surrogate is 2 to 6 months, but agencies that actively maintain a pre-screened network of candidates can often complete the step in 2 to 8 weeks. Prioritizing a quick match based solely on someone being available introduces significant risk. Taking the time to ensure total medical and emotional alignment creates stability for the long road ahead. Once you have a match, your emotional hope must be backed by a highly rigorous, unseen architecture of legal and financial protections before any medical procedures begin. Both you and your surrogate must be represented by independent reproductive attorneys. They draft the contracts outlining your specific agreements and file the necessary paperwork to protect your parentage rights. For financial security, an independent third-party escrow holds your funds in a secure vault, walled off from the agency, distributing money only when milestones are met. EDSI acts as the central coordinator, aligning calendars and paperwork, without overstepping into legal or medical advice. This strict separation of powers, where the agency coordinates, the lawyers protect, and the escrow secures, guarantees the physical and financial safety of everyone involved. With the contract signed, the focus shifts to active clinical milestones. This requires meticulous coordination with your independent fertility clinic. The surrogate begins a rigorous physical preparation process, following strict medication schedules and attending regular monitoring appointments to check her uterine lining. When the clinic determines she is ready, we reach transfer day. Your embryo is carefully thawed in the lab and medically transferred to the surrogate's uterus. Then begins a heavy emotional waiting period. It takes roughly 9 to 14 days before a blood test can finally confirm if the transfer was successful. Up to this point, the clinical coordination has been highly precise, but the moment of transfer marks a delicate transition from controlled science back to the unpredictability of nature. This calendar grid shows what happens once a pregnancy is confirmed. You move from highly variable logistics into a predictable schedule. As weeks progress on this curve, you hit reassuring clinical milestones, like hearing the first heartbeat and seeing detailed anatomy scans. During these early weeks, the surrogate's NIVL care transitions away from the specialized fertility clinic and over to a local obstetrician who will monitor the rest of the pregnancy. Over these 9 to 10 months, the agency's role shifts. Instead of constant logistical intervention, their focus is on fostering steady, reassuring communication between you and your surrogate. As the due date approaches, you cross the final logistical finish line. This involves finalizing delivery plans, coordinating with hospital staff, completing post-birth legal steps, and issuing the birth certificates. Creating your embryo is a beautiful beginning, but it is the safe, legally protected navigation of this entire roadmap that finally allows you to bring your baby home. If you have banked your embryos and want clarity on what comes next, you can book a private consultation with the Egg Donor and Surrogacy Institute